So Brene has been found liable. She now owes Akira $1.5 million for stealing another woman's husband. The verdict is in. So Brene has been found liable. She now owes Akira $1.5 million for stealing another woman's husband. The verdict is in, and after days of testimony, tears, and chaos, the jury didn't hesitate. Akira just won one of the wildest courtroom battles the internet's ever followed. $250,000 for alienation of affection, plus over $1 million for emotional and financial damage. For months, Brene bragged online about taking Akira's man, mocking her as jealous and bitter. But today, that arrogance came with a price tag. Akira stood in court, surrounded by supporters, breaking down when the verdict was read. After being humiliated online, she finally walked away with justice and the proof that she wasn't crazy. She was right. Social media is calling it karma in real time. Brene went from the other woman to the woman who owes $1.5 million. And now, fans are asking the same thing. What happens to Tim? With no money and no clout left, insiders say he's next in line for legal trouble. For Akira, this isn't just a win. It's a message. You can't destroy someone's marriage, gloat about it, and think you'll walk away untouched. She lost her husband, but Brene just lost.
So those who are confused on the Brene case, let me break it down for y'all. Basically, Brene married her crush's cousin to get closer to her crush. Her crush name is Tim. Her husband name was Devin. Akira was Tim's wife. Okay, y'all got that? They all grew up together. They went to high school together. Now, Brene also has a twin sister named Corinne, and she also plays a role in this situation. Track it back to high school. Basically, Brene dated Tim back when they were really young. Mind y'all, Tim was Brene's first love. Tim's family never liked Brene, so Tim ended up breaking it off with Brene. Now, circling back to the twin sister Corinne. Corinne and Brene fell out and had a lot of beef in high school because Corinne basically slept with Tim after Brene and Tim broke up. Basically, Brene was a 304. And so Tim ended up putting his cousin Devin on Brene because Brene was going and Devin was a virgin and he wanted to lose his V. Before everyone graduated, Akira and Tim ended up getting together, and Akira was basically Tim's new girlfriend. Granted, Brene, Devin, they don't hang out with Akira. They don't really know Akira like that. She's just the new girlfriend. Tim went off to play college football on a scholarship while Akira basically held the relationship down. Not too long after, Akira ends up getting pregnant and they end up getting married in 2018. Akira dropped out of school to be a wife, a mother, while Tim pursued his dreams of being an NFL player. Akira was working 2 jobs trying to support the family financially. Fast forward to 2021, Devin and Brene ends up getting married. This is how I met Devin and Brene because they were a TikTok couple, actually. So mind y'all, Brene and Devin is this God-fearing married couple. They're very Christian, go to church, listen to music, do couples content, all of that. So randomly, they started hanging out with Tim and Akira, and they started doing like group activities, double dates, etc. Mind you, Brene was known to be Akira and Tim's kids' aunt. Brene was Auntie Brene and Devin was Uncle Devin. Brene started speculating that her sister Corinne started sneaking around with Tim again, and this is when Akira was pregnant with her second child. Things started getting weird because every time they would link up to do couple stuff, Brene would be wearing inappropriate clothes, like her booty cheeks would be hanging out, her titties, she would have no bra on, like things were just very inappropriate, and she would be extremely friendly with Tim. So this is where everything started getting speculated. Akira would constantly check Brene, like, hey girl, like, can you put a bra on? Or tell her about like her shorts being too short. And Brene basically would see no issue with it. And Akira's main thing was the fact that her children are around. Like, there's kids around and you have your titties just out and exposed and your booty hanging out of your shorts. Like, you're not supposed to be dressed like that around children. So fast forward, one day, Brene basically comes up with this big lie saying that Devin is being domestic towards her and that she doesn't feel comfortable living with Devin and etc., etc. So Brene basically begs Akira and Tim for a place to stay. And Tim is like, yeah, like we might as well let her stay. Like she said she's having problems at home in her marriage. And so Akira went along with it. And Akira said that things got extremely weird the moment she moved into their home. Akira started finding random teeth around the house. She said that basically she would go to sleep early some nights and she'll go to sleep at like 8 p.m., wake back up at 11 p.m. and notice Tim's not in the bed, and she'll go out and check and see where he's at, and he would be in the den with the door closed, meaning they were being actual in their home while Akira was asleep, and this was proven. So Akira started confronting Tim, her husband, about what was going on. Tim gaslit her and said, oh, it's nothing going on. She was known as a 304 in her high school, saying that she's sloppy, she nasty, she dirty, she lazy, this, that, and the third. That's how she even got with Devin, like basically gaslit the fuck out of her. And she said she believed him because at the time it was like, anything my husband says, I'm going to believe. That's the type of woman she was. Granted, when Brene was staying with them, she would fix Tim's plate first, would sit with Tim, would literally, everything's Tim. And then also, she was asked on many occasions to leave their home. She said no. She told Akira, no, Tim wants me here. And so Akira said she felt like she had no one to speak to about this because she would tell her husband would gaslight her, and she just felt like something sneaky was going on behind her back, but she just could not prove it. So she started getting a whole bunch of piercings. And so one day she goes around her family and they're like, why do you have so many piercings? And then she just busts out and just tells everything. And so her grandmother was like, oh no, I'll be over there. Because one thing about it, Akira is not confrontational. She said she's not an aggressor and that this is not something that she does. So the grandmother goes over to Akira's house. The grandmother said the house was so trashed where Brene was staying at. She was staying in the den. They said that it was pop bottles, chip bottles. It was just so filthy, disgusting, and nasty. That grandmother asked Brene, didn't even ask, told Brene, you need to leave. And Brene told her, no, Tim wants me here. So she ended up getting into an argument with her grandmother and ends up pushing her grandmother. Brene eventually goes home and tells her husband, Devin, that she's in love with Tim and that she wants to be with Tim. And Devin basically says, well, if that's what you want to do, prove it. Invite him over here. And so she did exactly that and slept with Tim in their home, y'all. In their home. Devin ended up divorcing her after that. Akira ends up finding out because Devin ends up hitting Akira up and telling Akira what he knew. And so she ended up getting her piece on the whole entire situation. And that's why we're here today, y'all. And now y'all just gonna have to follow from here on out because I told y'all the entire backstory. Sorry if I butchered some parts, but this is literally how shit went down step by step. If I didn't get every little detail on point, I'm very sorry. But this is just the gist of everything step by step on what is going on. Oh, and did I mention that Brene and Tim are also married now? I don't know if I forgot to mention that or not. Brene said that, and she admitted that she would do anything for Tim. She would buy him the whole entire world. And so basically she's his sugar mama because Tim has no money. And granted,
I won't pay a penny of the $1.5 million because she allows me to be with Tim.
Brene said Akira would never see a single dollar of the $1.75 million. Those were her exact words. When the court announced the verdict, Brene looked straight into the camera and said Akira wouldn't get a cent and that she had no intention of paying the compensation. Even after the judge's ruling, Brene kept mocking Akira, calling her bitter, jealous, and broken. Online, people reacted. $1.7 million for a man? An unemployed man? She's going to spend her whole life working for Akira. But this is the price of taking someone else's husband. Akira won. Not only did she win $1.75 million in damages, she also won back her dignity. Akira may have lost her marriage, but she gained something far more powerful: justice. Akira cried, not because she lost, but because she was finally believed. The woman who had been laughed at was now standing on the right side of justice. Because in the end, you can steal someone's partner, but you can't steal their peace. And now the whole world knows it. What do you think about this?
This woman sued her best friend for sleeping with her husband, and she won. This is Brene Kennard. She's an influencer with almost 3 million followers on TikTok, and she was married to this man named Devin. They live in North Carolina, and they would always hang out with Devin's cousin Tim and his wife Akira. The four of them would always hang out, go on double dates, make videos together, go to basketball games, and they became really close friends. Until Akira discovered a video of her friend Brene and her husband Tim talking about things that they've done together. Akira learned that this affair was going on for months and would even happen in her own house when she was asleep. After this is discovered, Tim and Brene move out of the houses they share with their spouses and move into a home together. Brene then starts flaunting her new relationship all over social media, and Akira has enough. She ends up suing Brene, saying as a direct result of her sleeping with her husband, she has suffered humiliation, mental anguish, injury to her health, and her children, who she shares with Tim, have been deprived of a two-parent household. And they just announced today that Akira won the lawsuit, and Brene was ordered to pay $1.5 million for alienation of affection and $250,000 for criminal conversation. Timothy said in his testimony that he was never in love with Akira, that they were just like roommates and that they had previously separated, but Akira disputed these claims. Brene said she couldn't be the reason that Tim and Akira's marriage came to an end, saying that their marriage had been falling apart for years. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always,
That's very different. I honestly didn't know it could be. I'm getting some business ideas here. Yeah, business ideas. I'm proud of her, what she did, and I wish it was in Uganda. I just wish it was in my country. I swear. With us here, some women will be really rich, rich. But on the other part, why would you allow someone to come into your house and stay that long? Just you leave them. You leave them. It was like that. You just leave. I can't allow that. Someone comes and you're inappropriate in my house. No. But anyway, if it was in my country, we Ugandans will be rich. I mean, Ugandan women will be rich. Thank you. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.